Good morning. Welcome to Scholar IAS Current Affairs classes. Today we are going to deal with important issues of February 4th current affairs. Let's go into the session. First issue is with respect to smart walls. This particular topic is important in GS3 security portion. Now India is trying to build smart walls or the smart fencing mechanisms in the border along Pakistan and the Bangladesh border. So coming to the issue, the news is that United States has proposed to build smart walls over the US and Mexico border. Initially, it was told that they wanted to build a physical wall, that is a border wall. But now United States has proposed to build smart walls over US and Mexico border. What is a smart wall? Basically, smart wall replaces physical and armed patrolling with advanced surveillance techniques. The wall would use the technologies like sensors, radars, surveillance technologies to detect and track the break-ins, and technology capable of performing the most difficult tasks dedicated to the border security. For example, when there is a particular border where it is bit porous or the terrain is very difficult or it is really difficult to contain the infiltrations, instead of building a physical wall, a technology enabled wall will help in the detecting the infiltrations as well as securing the porous borders. So this is the concept of smart walls. So it would also include surveillance towers, cameras, thermal imaging to detect the objects. The system is capable of distinguishing between animals, humans, and vehicles, then sending updates to the handheld mobile devices of the patrol agents. Once these patrol agents receive the signals from these surveillance towers, cameras, they go and physically inspect the area and nab the infiltrators. So what are the advantages of smart walls? The smart wall technology could solve border security issues without the need for physical barrier. Basically, building a physical barrier is very tedious task considering the terrain, considering the financial requirements, and this smart wall technology bypasses the problem of physical terrain problems as well as financial problems, and also it is very effective in dealing with the porous borders. Smart walls can be designed to operate in rugged areas. Like already said, this geographical inaccessibility to these areas is a big problem, and this is the areas where the terrorists and infiltrators they enter into another country's region. So smart walls could able to contain these kind of infiltrations. And third is that these advantages of smart walls over traditional physical borders are they are pretty cost effective, and they are not damaging to the environment, and there are very fewer land sizes, and it can be deployed at a very faster rate. So these are the four key advantages over the traditional physical border. So why India should consider smart wall to secure its border? Actually, India had already piloted a particular smart wall project, that is border fencing mechanism through technology along the Pakistan as well as Bangladesh border, and now it is trying to extend this kind of smart fencing technology across the porous borders in India. So basically, why India should consider smart wall to secure its border? India has been a long-term victim of problems of terrorism and smuggler infiltrations across the porous borders. So smart wall helps in prevention of these infiltrations, whether it is terrorist or smugglers. Also that in the northeastern region as well as in the northwestern part, some part of the northwestern border, the terrain is very rugged, and it is not possible to build a physical wall, because you need to carry the materials as well as the terrain is like undulated with hilly terrains, and it is very difficult to really build a physical wall. So in these kind of situations, smart wall is effective. However, it is not feasible for our long boundaries, yet it can be deployed to enhance critical security establishments and complement already existing physical fencing. See, one another argument is that when we consider the northwestern border, where most number of infiltrations happen in terms of terrorists or smugglers, the basic thing is that this particular border is of very high length. So throughout the length, we cannot provide for smart fencing. Instead, we can provide the smart fencing where vulnerabilities are noted, where frequent number of infiltrations are happening and where the terrain is really difficult. So we should not go for a single straitjacket approach of providing smart walls across the barrier. Instead, we have to choose the spot where the smart wall can be implemented. And the attack of Pathankot Air Force Base has highlighted the difficulty of securing the establishment due to its vast size. One another advantage of smart wall is that basically we can't provide smart walls for the entire border. Also, that we cannot provide the physical border for the entire border length. So instead, we can mix up both smart wall as well as the physical barrier to safeguard the border wherever it is necessary. Also, Indian armed forces need to be well equipped and should have latest technological advantages over the enemies. This is very important. Nowadays, we are reading news that the Pakistani infiltrators as well as the people from the other side of Pakistan border, they are using drones to monitor the situation across the border in the Indian side. And we came across a news that the SSBs were like shooting down these sorry BSFs are shooting down these drones and then securing the border with respect to drone attack also. So it is high time that Indian armed forces are equipped with this kind of laser as well as drone technologies to provide for an effective defense in these border areas. So what is the way forward? So the idea can be explored to effectively counter the problem of cross-border infiltration. Second, this smart wall cannot be a standalone one. It has to be aided by physical surveillance as well as physical border. So clubbing traditional setups as well as the technology is a possible solution for India. So third topic is with respect to drip irrigation subsidy. This particular topic is important with respect to mains GS3 part. It will come in both agriculture as well as an economic development part. So basically, India's agricultural water productivity is very low because we use huge amount of water for cultivating our crops, and mostly rice is one crop where water is spent more, and it is opined by several experts that while India is exporting rice to other countries, it is indirectly exporting water. So this is one scenario. On the other hand, we are coming across the scenario where India's groundwater level is declining, and a recent report says that more than 20 cities will go without water in the coming year. So it is very imperative to conserve water and also to use the water productively in agriculture. So in this perspective, drip irrigation becomes a key. So basically, drip irrigation is very costly. As a result, farmers were dependent on the government subsidy to buy a good quality drip irrigation. But of late, there have been delays in this subsidy system. As a result, farmers are opting for cheaper drip irrigation systems. So the question is why farmers are using low quality drip irrigation system. Before 2012, farmers were getting good quality drip irrigation system at low price. This is because companies were given subsidies by the government to provide a quality drip irrigation system at a lower cost to the farmers. But after a few years, the subsidy that is being given to the companies were delayed. As a result, the company either raised the prices or they started investing less in the drip irrigation systems. As a result, the overall price of the drip irrigation system has increased. This has led the farmers to take the cheap variety of drip irrigation system. So to rectify this issue, government started providing subsidy directly into the farmer's bank account to buy the drip irrigation system. That is good quality drip irrigation system. But this subsidy is also delayed. As a result, now farmers have no option but to buy cheaper variety of drip irrigation system, which is of low quality. And so basic reason behind this farmers buying cheaper low quality drip irrigation system is because of the delay in subsidy. That is the one point that we need to be clear. Third topic is with respect to urban vision. This particular topic mainly deals with rejuvenation of urban areas by improving the transportation modes like bus services as well as metro services. This particular topic is important in Main's GS3 economic development part. So basically, the Union Budget 2021 focuses on expansion of metro rail as well as bus services, and it recognizes them as a core component of urbanization. So this particular union budget is focusing on comfortable, safe, and affordable commuting services that can have a multiplier effect on the economy as well as the public health. We have already observed that COVID-19 has had a debilitating impact on the transportation services. As a result, many transport service providers are suffering from huge loss, and the lack of transportation has also really reduced the momentum of the economy. Now the COVID situation is reducing, and it is the right time that the government is focusing on investing in these transportation sectors such that it revives the economy, and it provides better comfort for the masses. Basically, public bus transport system is very important with respect to reviving the economy, and this could be a better strategy for post-COVID recovery. And considering the scenario, India has 1.2 bus services per thousand people. This is very low when compared to Thailand and South Africa. Karnataka has average or a ratio which is higher than the national average. Basically, budget proposes a plan where the public bus transport system will be augmented through PPP model. And also in some states, it is really hard to convince those states where this private participation in the public bus services is a politically sensitive issue. So how to convince these states is a very big challenge. Actually, center can convince these states by providing the idea that bus renaissance is essential for pandemic recovery strategy. So by investing in these things, it is very easy to recover their economy. This is how center has to convince the states. Also, center has an advantage of amended Motor Vehicle Act, which provides the center the particular lead to take this option to the next stage. Second topic is expanding metro. This expanding metro is one another strategy to deal with the problem of urbanization. But to be honest with the appraisal, expanding bus services as well as metro services is not just enough to deal with the problem of urbanization in India. Two important issues we need to focus. One is affordability of the metro as well as bus services. In majority of the cities, the rates or the ticket fares of bus services and metro services are very high that large section of population is excluded from accessing these services. On the other hand, in towns called census towns where it is not actually towns, but for the sake of the census it is determined as towns, they don't have basic infrastructure or capacity to meet the needs of the large populations. These census towns have to be provided proper transportation infrastructure so that the people living in these towns are benefited from the transport revolution that we are focusing on. So what is the way forward? Enhanced ambition requires center to work with the state governments to integrate the key areas with its transport vision. Also, affordable inner city housing, including rental projects, access to civic services and healthcare, enhanced sustainability, greenery, and walkability are all the aspects of improving the urban governance as well as the urban transportation system. All these are covered by Central's budgetary scheme for cities. Only integration can bring the inclusive urbanization. Thank you. For more videos, please log on to scholar.com.